Okay, so I will present our joint work with colleagues from ITMO University and a colleague from LIT University. And it's called a universal filter model for image enhancement. Let me start. So first of all, what is the image enhancement? Because it's it needs to be described first. Of course, you know that there are a lot of photo images, images taken by some mobile cameras from cell phones and maybe some other devices, and these images could be shot by not the professional photographers, so they could have some artifacts of let's say, I don't know, lightness, some saturation, and that stuff, which is make them not that great as they could be. So in the original form, they could be not that good, and I will be explaining what the good is in this sense. But the idea here is that we are trying to improve, in some sense, images, and these images are typically from not really good conditions of taken in not in really good conditions. The importance, of course, I think obvious, because the photos themselves could be really interesting, but a person like you or me would like to see this photo to be taken to be looking good, and we're trying to solve this problem. So we're trying to develop some advanced technology which will make this this happen, so improve the image quality. Okay, so about the existing methods, there are two types of existing methods. The first type is end-to-end approaches. So we take some huge network, really heavy in computational way, and this network will be improving the model, the image as a whole. So it will be not maybe the best solution in some cases. And another approaches, which at least for me seems to be more perspective, which are compositional ones. So the idea of compositional approaches, where we have some predefined transformations, which we use in some not predefined order. So we can choose an order for the transformations and maybe some other parameters, and we hopefully get the same result as the huge models, but with much less computational. So our approach in general is looks like that. So we have some original image. Here is image of a statue, and this image, we resize it. We feed this resized image to parameter generation module, and this parameter generation module will produce the parameters for the predefined filters, which are shown here. It's exposure, linear filter, channel-wise color filter, and the universal kernel soft frame. I'll describe these filters later. So what we get the transformations with each filter according to the produced parameters, and we combine these parameters, sorry, not parameters, the images we get from the filters, and we get the output filter. So this is like our approach in a nutshell. The most important part of our approach is parameter generation. Its architecture is shown right now on the slide, and the main idea here is that we have some image, input image of some predefined size, and we use convolutions and some batch norms to get the some embedding of this image, and this embedding is used to produce the parameters. So the parameter generator is a model which embed the image and uses embedding to produce the output parameters. Okay, regarding the filters, as I said before, the filters need to be introduced, and the introduced filters, so these are the filters we have experimented with. It is saturation, contrast, white balance, exposure, linear filter, channel-wise color, universal kernel, and sharp filter. So all of them, except in the universal kernel filter, are actually well known, and I think it's there have no need to be introduced additionally. So I will concentrate on the universal kernel filter because it's one of the main innovations in our approach. So universal filter, it is a matrix which has been defined in some defined as a matrix with these values, as you can see on the slide. So there are two models, sorry, two matrices K and M, which has been applied as it has been shown on the previous slide. And as you can see by these temperature cards, the temperature cards showing that these matrices are doing some specific tasks. For example, we have soft and sharp variant for this universal filter, or soft sharp variant. They're pretty different in a way that the matrix for the unsharp is in some way is inversion of sharp. It's not inversion in the mathematical sense. It's more like in if you allow me to say, the temperature sense. So the for unsharp, the softest part is in the center. Okay, so this is our universal filter we have introduced, and what about the data set? Why we actually need this? This is a good question, and I have started my presentation on the saying that we are improving the images in some way, and this way need to be actually described. So there is a data set which is called Adobe FiveK data set, which contains 5,000 photos from, I actually don't remember which order it is, but the sample of it you can see on the slide right now. It's a girl playing a guitar, and these images has been improved by an artist using some tools like saturation changing, some I don't know, sharp and so on, some tools which has been which we can call it Photoshop. So since it's Adobe used Photoshop tools to improve the images in the dataset. So there are, for each image, there are 5 variants of improvement. But in standard approach, we and all our all previous works are using only single one, which is seems to be the best. Of course, it's like not the best in general, but it's best by the agreement of researchers and users. So there is an artist, and this is important. It's this unknown artist, which is named C in the dataset. So all of the approaches use only C variant of image improvement, and this C variant also used by us. So we split the dataset, the 5K, so 5,000 images, into 2 parts: the trained part of 750 images, and 250 images for the to check. And it's this setup is called random 25 250 random 250 because these images are chosen randomly. Let us look for the results here. There are 2 types of the approaches we are comparing with, as I said before. The first one is heavyweight, and these heavyweight approaches have at least 10 million of parameters. The lowest one is MaxSim. It has been introduced by colleagues from Google, and it's shown PSNR 26.15 and SSIM 0.945. I have been hasn't introduced the metrics before. So PSNR is a standard metrics for its actually measuring how well we can differentiate the noise and the signal. SIM is a similarity of an images. So both of them are best. The bigger are better. So another important point here, before I'll describing the lightweight approaches, it's important to say that unfortunately not all of the approaches are available to reproduction. So we get the results from the literature. This is the first part, and another part is also unfortunate that many works are concentrating on different setups. So some works are using the setups as we do, the 750 to 250, but some of them use totally different splits, and we cannot do anything with it, unfortunately. We choose the one which is seemed to us the best because it's used by the majority, but this is not like the majority, the biggest, like how to be said. So it's not like the overwhelming majority, just the majority. That's it. Okay, so regarding the lightweight approach, they has around 1 million of parameters, and this 1 million of parameters is showing pretty close results to some bigger approaches. But if we can see that the lowest is LFIEM, this is approach which has 100,000 of parameters, and it shows the best results on the PSNR, and the second result, excluding ours, by SIM. While our approach has twice as lower parameters, and it has a bit lower PSNR but higher SIM. So where our claim here is that we can get lower parameters with roughly the same quality, and also the important part here is that our approach is much faster. So the Maxim, one of the available heavyweight methods, it shows almost 9 seconds of time to process the data set. Sorry, not the data set, the image. And LFEM, which has the closest to ours number of parameters and quality, has time about 2 seconds, 2 milliseconds, while our approach has thrice as low time spending. So we have only 0.66 milliseconds for the our approach with the same quality and lower parameters. Also, I would like to show you how actually it could be done. So there are, of course, different approaches how we can do the image improvement, and as you can see, there are different even different sets which are applied to an image. So we have an image of a girl, and this girl on image has been applied some transformations, exposure, white balance, sharpen, and so on. And there are some different combinations of it, which are leading us to different enhanced images. And we experimented with a lot of approaches. And this is an ablation study, which has been shown with us. So we have experimented with different applied filters, and we find that exposure, linear, channel-wide color, and soft frame are the best combination. So there are of course, different filters available, but in our setup in the for this data set, we actually has the best result, which is shown. The different approach with I mean, is the different filter set approach is the same, of course, showing the better PSNR but lower SIM. So we chose only one of them, but of course it could be rebalanced, and maybe it maybe can do better with these results. Also, some visual comparison. So if you can see here on the screen, there are 4 images. One image is a girl with a guitar from the slide before. Some ape, I think it's a gorilla, and 2 men on the lakeside, and a girl reading a book. So if we can look at the images, we can see that Maxim is actually doing better. Maybe it's good, but maybe it's not the best. Of course, it's subjective, subjective judgment. But if we can look at the Maxim output, we can see that it is much more yellow or maybe orange than the others. So it's like it's more natural than the original, but it's more orange it's more like how to say it? It's like television picture, so it's more orange to be better better visualizable, but maybe it's not really that good for the naturalness. Regarding LFIM, it's a bit to yellow, but it's more natural, at least for me. And the UniFi is, I think, the best for the girl with the guitar, and the man on the leg side also seems to be the most natural, but it's of course subjective. So going to the conclusion, efficiency, the model surpasses previous solutions and offering faster processing. The model is lightweight, and it's the most lightweight model for this task today. We introduced universal kernel filters, which are also improve our solution and can be also developed in the future, so we can even better work with these kernels and some other tasks maybe. Also, there is a practical application, possible practical application of our model, since this model has only 50 kilobytes in size. It could be ran on some edge devices like mobile phones, so it's more practical than others. And our model is innovative, using the specific unified filter generation and unified filters themselves. So it seems that our model is a good step forward in this task. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. I would like to answer some questions.
Thank you, Valentin. Your presentation was quite interesting. So, any questions? Oh, please, Maxim.
Where's the microphone here? Can you hear me?
Not really. Could you please speak to the microphone?
Thank you for the presentation. I have a question. Today, image processing is about knowledge transfer, right? And pipelines. So did you consider trying applying your solution, your model, not to the raw images, but for example, to images pre-processed by other solutions? Maybe in combinations, you will be able to achieve even better results. What do you think?
It's a good suggestion. We actually have think of it. I think it is possible that our model can like be the second step in some pipeline, but we will lose the ability to be the lightest and the smallest model. So of course we can do this, and it could improve results even better, but it has some, of course, limitations. So yes, we can, but we need to think where it is good to apply. I would say so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Any more questions? So I have a question. Have you used augmentation in your training?
Yeah.
4,000, around 5,000 image pairs to train your approach, your model. So have you used augmentation?
Thank you for your question. Actually, there are two parts of an answer for this question. The first part is yes, we can use, and we have tried the augmentations, But since our model is really small, it has only 47,000 parameters. We have enough even with 4,000 of images. So it's since the model is small, it's have no need in such huge data set to train. So yes, we tried, but it hasn't showed the improvement for us.
Then the connected question: if you do not use augmentation, have you tested robustness against noise? So what I think speaking about, can you show slide number 2?
2 seconds. This one.
This pair, yes. Image on the left is one from the pair. Image on the right is second from the pair. And then you have trained your model. It does the work making image number 1 from image number 2. Now we introduce some noise into image number 1, say turn it to 5 degrees or add salt and pepper noise or whatsoever. How stable will be the image on the right? The networks are notorious for low stability for in respect to input data. So have you tested it, the stability?
Yes, thank you for your question. Regarding this stability, it's again 2 parts of an answer. If you're saying that you're turning an image for a few degrees, it seems, at least for me now, that it shouldn't be happening pretty nothing, because we actually not produce we're not converting the image itself with a network. We only embed a network. We only generate parameters with a network. So as it's shown for this 4th slide, we only like get some characteristics of an image with this network, and the production will be the same. So we apply the same filters, maybe with slightly different parameters. So one part of the answer is I think that for our setup, it's not really important regarding the augmentations like rotating and that stuff. Another part, it's we haven't tested the augmentations you're saying, so I cannot be sure. So my opinion, it's not important, because we're not training the transformations. We just trying to produce the parameters. But of course, this needs to be tested.
Yes, I agree. It seems so, but well, it needs to be tested.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So any more questions? Oh, please. Come here, because the microphone is only here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I have a small questions as you experimental results. In the experimental results page, you saw the the tree and test split setting. Can you go to this page?
The experimental results page.
Yes.
2 seconds. This one.
Oh, this one. This page 1, you can I can show you the tree and test the split. You setting the test number is 20,150.
Yes.
I want to ask you, if you increase the number of your test dates, for example, to 500, can your model still maintain the performance in the experimental results?
It's a good question. I hope so. So this will be the different split, of course, and hopefully this will be the same results, but we cannot like compare it directly. So as you can see, the Maxim network has this split 4500 to 500, and they have pretty different results. I don't know. I hope that will be the same, but we cannot test in all the setups which are available. So we chose only one.
Oh yeah. I just think the compare the experiment should be same the train and test speed. I just think so. Yeah.
Yes, of course. As I said, we have chosen our train test split as a majority of the models. So like LVM, like peaks to peaks, and such models. But as I said, unfortunately, there is no like golden split in this task.
Okay. Thank you for your answer.
Yes, thank you for your question.
I think that's all for this talk. So now,
Thank you.
thank you, Valentin.